bracket so far. We'll see how this plays out as we get into game one of Seabass and TruckStop versus MegD and Raydish.
All right, and immediately MegD and Seabass grabbing weapons, and then TruckStop grabbing the third. Everybody is now equipped, and we'll see everything start to go into chaos here.
Yes, indeed, and I think chaos is the name of the game for the red team, but maybe not so much for the blue team. Definitely a very controlling and patient team, and I think that was highlighted a couple sets ago, and they were up tremendously, and yet they still decided to stay on stage, playing very patiently, playing very secure. Name of the game for MegD and Raydish as just some simple onesie-twosies, as you would say, to get some extra damage there.
You are absolutely smitten by my onesies and twosies. You have brought that up so many times. My goodness.
It's a good saying, man.
It is great. I love saying it. I love saying it.
It's nice to say.
All right, well, here we go. Raydish cleaning up that first stock as we see Seabass go down. TruckStop in a little bit of a compromised position, recovers way high, and finds their way back down to the stage.
Yeah, something interesting about boots is it definitely holds you in place for a long time, and it gives a lot of time for MegD to react and capitalize. As I was saying, that Seabass hit a sig on Raydish and then MegD, but MegD held onto that stock. Chun-Li, quite tanky, of course, Wushang crossover.
They are chasing MegD down. Both of them are kind of taking turns while Raydish plays Disruptor. There we go. That was big. TruckStop coming through. There we go. Gets that stock out of the way. Gets that, I believe it was the Sair on MegD, closing that one out.
Nice. Oh, it's a 2-for-1 combo. Happy birthday, and gets the double sig as well. That's a lot of damage, and both get unarmed here as they have to fight their way back for not only stage, but also weapons. Raydish looking for those down lights to get those big conversions. TruckStop juggling with that Nair, getting the down sig, though, as Seabass fights their way back and slowly trying to get themselves back in the game, but another side stick comes out from MegD to cause some big problems. Raydish on an edge guard to the left, end lighting into Raydish's down air that he threw out already. Some accidental team synergy for sure, but definitely welcomed if you're the blue team.
Calculated. Calculated, 100%.
Just how we drew it up.
It's how we drew it up, how we do it. All right, Raydish going to get caught up in that a little bit, but now TruckStop off stage with them. And, wow, these guys are living, man.
Kaya and Macho Man, they're tanks.
Yeah, well, now we're gone.
Good
Finally
read,
comes in now, 4 stocks to 2. Blue team in a very good spot. Now, Raydish has quite a bit of damage on him, but MegD relatively very healthy.
Yeah, definitely, I think Raydish is the glass cannon of the two, but even so, holding on to the second stock quite a bit, and you see this already, playing very patient in the corner. They stack on top of each other where it's safe, and they're not really looking to make much happen, as it's the red team. Onus is on them to make this comeback. They're down a stock apiece. Nice little open up there for some damage. MegD capitalizes as well, but TruckStop with a big side light to disrupt.
Oh, yep, there he goes. Now, that's huge, getting Raydish down. However, the longer that they're taking to actually close out these stocks, they're taking damage in the process as well.
Yep.
And I mean, it's a 3-stock to 2 scenario. It doesn't look bad on paper, but you look at that damage on the red team, and it is not that pretty right now. They have to lock in. They have to make some big plays. They get MegD out of there, but TruckStop follows right behind them. And now we got a 2v1 that won't last very long because Raydish is going to clean that up 1v1 all by himself. Mano-y-mano.
He kind of did the exact same thing they tried to do. TruckStop getting a side light or side air on the lance to KO. Raydish said, I have a motorcycle that can do that. Then a ground pound attempt from Seabass. I have a ground pound too. Closing out the stocks in some pretty crazy ways. Raydish definitely taking off at the end.
Pretty creative raise.
Like Raydish.
You get Raydish? Yeah. Seriously, well played though.
Yeah,
just very good. Just good Brawlhalla action here, and that's exactly what I want to see. Everybody's playing strong. I don't really see any really big flaws, honestly. I think it's really just kind of coming down to, like, hey, we got caught up in a combo. There's not much you can do about that because, like, they set me offline. So it is what it is. 1-0. We are going to see a character switch as well, by the way. We're going to see the Taros come out in place of the Wushang. So is it the Wushang? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Wushang, but switching completely off of the Aang, which I think is quite an interesting pick. This is such a far place in the bracket to make such a big swap, and that was a very important Nair from TruckStop to disrupt that. But Raydish once more finding a side stick connection. MegD getting put in the Lance Blender. Nice avoidance on the ground pound. On the other side, Raydish finds a big juggle, almost gets the weapon toss into the recovery, but I mean, the blue team having quite a bit of damage lead, but you have to be very careful versus this Taros.
Yeah.
Hammer can definitely flip it very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a lot more damage coming onto the board, so it's going to be very tricky.
Yeah.
However, I mean, everybody is familiar with Taros, right? Taros, very popular character. Everybody plays Taros, at least in some capacity.
Ooh.
So you're kind of you already know what you're looking out for, right?
Yeah.
So blue team is going to have to play a bit more defensively here, but as you can see, the offense is still on point, and they have a great lead because of it.
MegD is playing really heads up right now. We saw the weapon toss pick up into the gauntlet, continuing these strings. Even now going off stage with this edge guard as you have still on your first stock, and TruckStop takes the first stock off of Raydish, but you're willing to play that game because as TruckStop on lands, you really want to go off stage versus gauntlets. Maybe not the best spot to be. So fortunately for the red team, Seabass was able to live. MegD getting caught with a big move, but able to make their way back.
Yeah, I mean, the other side of that too is when MegD got hit, TruckStop was just a little too high, was definitely looking for a Sair to kind of confirm into that, to potentially take out that stock, and I'm pretty sure it would have. But we do see the stock get taken anyway. Seabass going to close that one out off the top here, and it's a very even game all of a sudden.
Oh, Raydish barely missing the wall and gets called out there, having to use the exhausted recovery, and TruckStop is just all too ready to ground pound, and now the red team have the lead off that big misplay from Raydish.
And you kind of mentioned that earlier too. Raydish is a little more, well, Red Raptor's a bit more fickle, right?
Yeah.
Can potentially lose some stocks very quickly, and as you can see, having two strong boys on the red side, they can certainly make quick work of Red Raptor.
I mean, they're split right now. MegD almost finding the N6 to capitalize on that. Does find the connection again! Gets the double on the double side airs from Raydish, and that very quickly seizes the lead once again from the blue team. If something is to be said about MegD in this set, he is almost perfect with these SIG confirmations.
Oh yeah, no, the alley-oop, this is definitely some Dwayne Wade to LeBron James, Miami Heat. Absolute prime James, by the way. I miss that era. Look, I remember everybody like looks at LeBron as the villain. He was so good. He was so good back in the day, man. He still is good. It's crazy. He's like 40-something. He's almost 40. Plays like he's still 21. Hate it. But anyway, back into this game here. I could talk basketball all day, so. But TruckStop, okay, trying to provide some relief for Seabass off stage. Seabass does find a way back on, and I love that.
That was crazy.
I love that. Drop that combo immediately, knowing TruckStop was on the way, or Seabass was on the way. Excuse me.
I mean, they're just so heads up. Raydish interrupting that side air as well, and MegD gets caught out, and Raydish avoids the edge guard opportunity. MegD still having some pretty solid positioning, gets the pogo there, gets KO'd, and now we are down to a 1v1 situation. MegD versus TruckStop. TruckStop a little bit above 100 damage, but I mean, this should be a nice and easy conversion for MegD unless catastrophe strikes. We'll see what happens.
I mean, hey, let's see what you're made of.
Oh, the classic. He just waited for it. Sideline, waits for the dodge and gets the recovery. Sometimes the worst option is the worst option as they take the game and go up 2-0 in the set.
You know what? You're right, though. MegD playing on a different level right now.
He's playing really good.
The awareness that MegD has in just this game alone is something to be studied. Like, just map recognition, right? Just player recognition, where everybody is. Just awareness in general is so good. If you are a player who's trying to up your, like, doubles gameplay, right? Watch MegD. The way that they played this game here, you know, being able to do their offense, but keeping track of not only his teammate, but the other team's member as well. In the middle of your combo, you have that much confidence it's going to hit and then drops it immediately so they can get a punish onto Seabass, which is just barely off the mark. But anyway, make sure you watch this game. You're trying to up your doubles gameplay right now. Oh my goodness.
Playing super well, and Raydish, I mean, this obscure Red Raptor pick was something that only Raydish really makes work, and it's definitely just the perfect setup tool for MegD Sigs. See how the red team adapts as they need to make a reverse Rio comeback happen, and it might start here as the end light converts, getting the down light as well, and charging up that recovery, and just a nice and simple dash jump, scoop with that down air, closes out that stock, and now the red team with a very early lead, less than a minute, and already taking a stock apiece.
All right. Raydish tried to go for an offensive play. TruckStop with a decent punish there. Nothing super crazy, but still, actually, yeah, just continuing to stack some stuff up there while they're off stage. Beautiful.
Both the blue team whiffing their recoveries there and getting a side air on TruckStop, who, thanks to all that defense on Macho Man, is going to live for quite a while. Raydish getting reversaled and is getting sent low. But yeah, this red team defense definitely working out. But Raydish, no active input, of course, because you want to find a KO.
Nice.
MegD finding these conversions into the SIGs, perfectly spaced, perfectly timed to even up the stock count.
I know we keep talking about MegD's conversions because you do see that icon pop up when the stock is taken, but I really got to give a big shout out to Raydish. Again, being that point guard, feeding your teammate, allowing them to get those stocks, get those moments. But I mean, again, it's all together for the team. Raydish is just so excellent with setting MegD up for these.
Unfortunately, their Raydish setting up MegD into that Seabass recovery, but nonetheless, you're looking, okay, nice. Get GC side sig, finding a KO there. That's really big for the blue team as they look for that little team combo there. Raydish going for the recovery. It didn't quite send high enough. It's too low damage for that.
Yep. Oh, MegD in a really tough spot. Raydish, what are you doing?
Help me! Oh, and MegD gets caught out, and that's going to be Raydish. This is the similar situation to what Raydish had to clutch to make it into top 8, but maybe not possible versus a team like Seabass and TruckStop. We'll see right now, Raydish.
Wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's never over till it is. Okay, gets the end light there, connects on both, going for the ground pound immediately. TruckStop reversals with the down air, gets the side air on the angle, and the red team with a 3-stock game number 3. So it's not quite over yet, but you still got to win 2 more games. You have to focus and lock in because, I mean, it's still quite a big task even though you took that game.
I mean, even though, like, they lost those first 2 games, right, the second game, we see the switch to Teros, right? Goes into game 3, and they find a way to get it done. So, and that's one of the things I like, is you made a switch, you took a game, you lost it, whatever. You keep that same switch, right? You keep that Teros going on, and then you kind of like get the juice flowing between you and your partner to make everything work into the next game, and now that gets you on the board here. Now, like you said, you got to get 2 more. That's going to be super tough, right? Yeah. It's not going to be a walk in the park, especially against Raydish and MegD, but things are looking a little bit better for you. And game 4 is really going to, where we see, MegD and Raydish. Okay, they finally drop one. How do they respond back now, right? But Seabass and TruckStop, you guys should be feeling good right now, but you got to keep it together. Keep that mental sharp.
You see there MegD having 100% accuracy on all 4 SIGs. I mean, that's just like showing, as we keep saying, we got Raydish setting up those MegD SIGs, but MegD finding 100% success rate. Got to keep that energy going into this game. As we get Miami Dome for the first time on our blocks, we're not on Fortress of Lions or Apocalypse or Demon Island anymore. We got 2 stop platforms that are static, and we'll see how that plays into the game plan. But I know for a fact, what's interesting is a lot of orb players don't really like soft platforms. It can interrupt a lot of the game plan. But I know Raydish does like soft platforms, so maybe that came into effect here.
Yep. Okay. Pretty scrappy in the beginning. Nothing really solid yet. Just a bunch of stray hits. Onesies, twosies, if you will.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Raydish flying way too high up there. TruckStop able to capitalize on that with recovery, and the red team snowballing that momentum. As I say that, though, Seabass hitting TruckStop as they get split up here. Seabass has to hold the wall.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Big damage there. Okay, does able to find a way to get back to the wall. Raydish just absolutely pummeling with those boots there.
Nice scour out from MegD to find that recovery. TruckStop picking up the axe, and Raydish finding the KO on Seabass as MegD goes underneath the weapon toss and still punishes after the recovery. Punishes again on the side air. A masterclass in axe edge guarding from MegD to close out that 1v1. Seabass without a weapon, and MegD looks to extend the edge guarding into the unarmed Teros. Does MegD find it? Yes, he does. A double KO, but TruckStop still punishes MegD for it, and the blue team have a stock lead now. MegD with 2 extremely clean edge guards.
That was basically, a 2-for-1 right there. I mean, that's a special I'll always take. MegD, again, really doing a fantastic job. Really capitalizing on all these moments presented to him. But right now, it's still not over. You still got 2 strong boys on that red team. They could absolutely take stocks in very few hits.
Yeah, and right now, MegD on the Sphere definitely not as big of a threat as the gauntlets off stage. You're more so looking at those SIG connections, and we'll see if MegD can find some here. And Raydish interrupting with those boots. But the red team looking really solid right now as they get the downlight into Nair, into the Lance recovery to close out that stock. And now disarming MegD. TruckStop in a good spot to capitalize here. Gets the side air, and now they're up a stock.
That's what I'm
Raydish
talking
in
about.
a terrible spot. Oh my goodness, living.
Oh, barely threading the needle to get back down to the ground here. And we're going to see if MegD has got any more like secret stuff going on, because my goodness, they're playing like MJ and Space Jam right now with the way that they've been converting everything, you know, getting these big stocks, making these big plays.
This is the perfect opportunity for the red team, but as I say that, they get a big combo on TruckStop and shut down TruckStop's reign of terror there. I mean, just taking so many stocks, getting the side air there, looking for that recovery. MegD, an attempt to set up TruckStop off stage, too low damage, and Seabass, knowing that they are quick to lose their stock, but Raydish loses that stock, and this 2v1, I mean, versus the double axe is going to be very difficult.
Yes, it's definitely a tough one. Almost taking that stock, does disarm MegD in the process, though. MegD going to be trying to work their stuff as best they can, still surviving here. What's the play?
Yeah, exclamation points come out, getting the end line. Nice dodge for MegD to avoid the weapon toss, but it should all be over. Yeah, nice weapon toss into the recovery from Seabass to close out that game, and we're going to game 5.
I really got to hit at the red team. Right now, you know, they were down 2-0, win the next 2 games, right? In this game in particular, their persistence, right? They did not lose sight of what the goal was. They kept playing their game, and that's something I feel like a lot of people can do too much, right? You get into these really bad positions. You start getting into your head. You start thinking about a play or a mistake you made a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, last set, last game, right? And all you gotta do is just keep focusing on what's next. And I feel like Red Team is doing that right now. And that's the reason why we're in a Game 5 scenario. Is because their persistence, their dedication to the game, and trying to get this W is what's pushing them through. And I respect that.
They are definitely holding on, and I think it's easy to write them off, especially after that game 2 dominance from the blue team. But right now, riding this momentum, we'll see the bans come in from the blue team as they ban some of the more unconventional picks. But we go right back to Miami Dome for our Game 5. The winner of this moving on to Elimination side finals versus Balloon Boy and Hideaway. But can't think about that set right now. You got to lock in this last game for this Game 5 win. We got a very, very close set already, and we're going to get right into Miami Dome.
Yep, let's see how it all plays out. All right, first weapon spawn going to be coming up here. Yep, Raydish and TruckStop both picking them up. And there we go, Seabass getting the next one. This is going to be a good moment to try and get some nice early damage here. MegD gets equipped as well, gauntlets in hand, and we know the type of menace MegD is with gauntlets.
Yeah, I mean, Seabass there going for a big read and MegD reversing with a side air, but I think something that we haven't been highlighting nearly enough is TruckStop's just absolute damage output on this Macho Man, getting so much of the damage for the red team, disrupting and also capitalizing on some of these bigger dodge reads that get burned from Teros.
Okay. Oh,
nice side sig.
Oh my God, he just kind of threw that out, and I think it was just kind of hoping for the best. Because that went quite a ways away, and I feel like Raydish might have also jumped into that, so I don't know. Raydish picking up the boots once again. MegD still on their first stock. Both the red team on their first stock as well, but that side air will set up an edge guard opportunity for MegD. Nice from TruckStop to feint high, go low with the down air, touch the wall, and not enough to KO on Seabass, but that sig will connect and scoop that soft platform perfectly spaced on Miami Dome. TruckStop looking to hold on to the stock and finds a side air on MegD. And you make it back here. You have to avoid that axe, but doesn't even go for the edge guard. Just looking at 2v1 Raydish, who takes a lot of damage, but MegD on the spear is able to get something going and gets the stock. Yeah, they got a little bit of a team combo there, but Seabass was able to drift right out of it. Good stuff to them. And I think, like, one of the big things, this Teros switch has been so crucial because we've been seeing Seabass also live for a lot longer here, on top of the fact that they are landing some big hits to take some stocks a little bit earlier than they were before. But there we go, 2 stocks across the board. Raydish gonna barely live, and yeah, Raydish is starting to, this is getting to a really, like, scary spot just because of, like, what Red Raptor has to deal with here.
MegD taking a lot of damage in an attempt to kind of keep Raydish alive, but that landing side air does connect, and yeah, this is a really great spot to be in as the red team, as you have Raydish on his last stock. Raydish has been losing the stocks very quickly, just kind of what happens when you're on Red Raptor versus all these tanky legends.
Okay. And Red Team's doing a great job controlling the stage and keeping them separate as well. I think that's also a very huge factor into this because we know what MegD and Raydish are capable of when they're, you know, getting their team combos going. Like we mentioned before, Raydish has been setting up MegD to close out so many of these stocks, and I feel like they just haven't been able to get that flow going, especially on this stage.
Oof, nice end sig to punish on MegD's whiffed sig, and now we have last stock on both of the blue team members using that tricky movement, but getting caught with the end sig, and that should be it. Raydish unable to make it back as Seabass capitalizes on that edge guard in a big way. MegD now 1 stocks to 4. I'm not sure if this is going to be able to happen. TruckStop taking a seat there and getting comboed with a KO. I mean, I don't know if it's, you know,
It's never a good idea to do that. I love it. I respect it. But especially with a player like MegD, hey, man, play your game first.
Yeah, let's win the game.
I do like a little bit of flexing.
Okay, side air there isn't not nearly enough to KO as MegD looks to make this big comeback. Nice avoidance on that recovery, and TruckStop just giving the 1v1 to Seabass here. Okay, that recovery will find a KO. TruckStop with the axe in hand. MegD picking up the gauntlets. Now, okay, I was going to say MegD having a chance, but it doesn't matter because TruckStop finds the SIG connection as they complete the reverse 3-0 and move forward into Elimination side finals. Congrats to them because that looked impossible going into Game 3, but they got it together, and I mean, they just kind of imposed their will on the match. Good counter pick from Seabass too, switching over the Teros. It definitely paid off.
100%, and it's not the same.